At the tender age of almost 78, I don't want to forget my roots. I'm a third culture person. I was born in Costa Rica. This is the little house that I was brought to by my parents when I was about 8 days old. And I lived there in the first 3-4 years of my life. I got 2 passports, my US passport and my Costa Rica passport. Those are my roots, and I just don't want to forget where I've come from. In the last few years, I've been thinking this issue of vocatio, that essential calling of God on one's life. I came to faith in Christ in Costa Rica through my father. It was at a VBS program in Wheaton, Illinois, between 3rd and 4th grade, that I make this decision for missions, and then that triggers off this principle that you make a decision, and that decision turns around and makes your life. But it was in college, seminary, that I realized that I was gifted, I loved what I did, and that this vocatio would be worked out in God's cross-cultural mission somewhere in the world, and that's really what happened with my life. I've been asked a few times over the course of my life what on the one hand was my greatest sense of gain and what is my greatest sense of loss, and the irony is that they come together. The greatest loss was leaving Latin America after 17 years and thinking that I would teach at Trinity Evangelical Divinity School for the rest of my professional life, and then loss hits the second time. I realized that being at Trinity is good for me, but it's not good for our family. And if there's one lesson I learned in life, is that I would never sacrifice my family on the altar of my ministry. So we go to a little church in Arkansas, but within a year and a half of leaving Latin America, I've lost Latin America teaching and a sense of pastoral gifting. But that was the loss that led to the greatest gain, which was the internal transformation of my life in the school of brokenness and deconstruction. Vocatio then worked itself out in the context of the World Evangelical Alliance Mission Commission. I had no idea what I was getting into in late June of, 86? But God did. And I was shaped by my early mentors. And the vocatio was to build a global community of what we call reflective practitioners, women and men of action and asking questions, of building a library of resources that would address global issues with global voices. And those 30 years were really the greatest years of my life. Vocatio worked itself out in 3 movements: 17 years in Latin America, 30 years with the Mission Commission of World Evangelical Alliance, and then this latter stage of my life, more mentoring and teaching